What's going on, Blue Chips? How we doing this morning? Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Your highs and your lows are equally as important. Own your story. Let's get to it. What a valuable saying coming at us today after yesterday, right? Highs and lows equally as important. Yesterday was definitely a low, and to be, looking back at it from this morning's perspective, knowing that that was yesterday, today is today, I feel like I would not have been able to do that even 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I would still be dwelling over yesterday. But this morning I woke up and I was like, whatever, it happens, right? It sucks going 0 for 6. That means I had a 50-50 chance of a stock either going up or down each time I got in, and every time I flipped that coin, I was wrong 6 times in a row. And I felt like I had higher than a 50-50 chance on each trade, right? I put myself in a probabilistic trade where I felt like the odds of it working were higher than 50%. And unfortunately, percentages are percentages for a reason. I learned that very early on in my life playing poker. You could be a 98% chance, a 98%. You could be in the 98% chance to win. I was trying to figure out how to word that incorrectly, which I did very well. But you could have a 98% chance to win the hand and still lose, right? Like there's still that 2% chance that one card left in a 52 card deck. 53, 52, 53. Who says 53? I'm thinking 53 because that's when I used to get off work. It almost came out 53, but then I caught myself because obviously there's only 52. Anyways, Thomas, Mr. Gifford, Marketing, Vincenzo, how are y'all doing this morning? Don't forget to hit that like button on the way in. See if we can't give away some damn balls today. Give away some balls on Taco Tuesday. We shall see. We shall see. So yeah, when I checked out yesterday around 10:30, since then, apparently the SPY said, yo, to the moon. Let's go back to where we came from. And yeah, it's trying. I checked out right around here. Was sort of going towards the highs of the pre-market. And then, yeah, ever since then, this thing said, yeah, let's go. Had the normal sell-off here into the close. Seems to be a normal thing lately. And then this thing gapped up, and it's gapping pretty hard. So pretty crazy when we take a look at the daily. This thing is halfway back to its highs. Absolutely insane. Even some others, like the cruise lines, moved a little bit with it. But taking a look at like the airlines and stuff like that, they're still down there towards the lows. So interesting how everything's kind of going today. Michael, what's going on, man? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while. NAT, let's take a look here. I'm not really looking at anything specific. The only thing I had pulled up was BWEN. It's a little bit lower float, but it did make quite a move this morning. But it looks like it's going to give it all back. That was around when I woke up. Took a quick look at what was moving. This was one of them. And then, as you can see since then, pretty much gave everything back so far. So a little bit of a lower float. Let's see what AGLE is doing here. This could be something worth looking at here at the open. 25 mil float. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Looks like it can make a move. NAT, yeah, I've been busy trying not to... I can't say that on the stream. That might just sound really bad because it's not true at all. I've been trying to cooperate with my family is what I will say. But yeah, so don't really have too much going on here. Just going to be... Actually, I pulled up NAT as well based off of Michael, just for people just tuning in here. And that does look like it could be something. Looks like we got a pre-market high here of 818. Be looking for it to go through that area up there towards 850. That actually, I mean, this thing is extending itself. Looks like it could be more of a long, maybe buy on dips, a little bit of a breakout. Looking here on the daily, have to go all the way back to 2016-ish to really kind of get any kind of a level here. Looks like around that 870 area. It's really the first one we got. We're already through one that was sitting here around 744. So we'll see. Keep an eye on it for sure. There is the bell, speaking of. I didn't realize that we were that close. Dennis, what's going on, man? Good morning. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully we can have a green day today. And let's get it. Let's get it. So AGLE there just absolutely dumping. Let's take a look at what's going on the scanners here. RTIX not doing too much. ETM, not really a fan of the range there. Take a look here at ARCT. This is right off the bear scan watch list. It's a little bit of a lower float, 9 mil. Still have NAT up. That doesn't really look like it's doing what we want it to do either. And GPS here. Okay. I'm gonna start GPS here. Kind of feels toppy. NAIL could have been a good one. Don't have any shares there though. A lot going on here. Gonna scroll through as much as we can. TEN has potential. May have hit the wrong button here on GPS. I was trying to give it a little bit of wiggle room. But as you can see, our take profit is all the way back down here. We'll see. $10, I wish it had a little bit more range. ERI, that's already kind of giving it back. CHS, nothing there. KBH. KBH is a little interesting. We need a little bit more out of it. Let's try in here. Just trying to get this dump back down here to this previous resistance here on GPS. We're sitting right at it. Should have hit the 20-cent button. I did the math wrong in my head there. I think I was looking for it to give us a little bit more stint, so I had the 75-cent button in my head, and I just ended up going with it. We'll see what happens with it. KBH is trying here through, so we might get it. We need about 10 cents here. If we can get down near 30, I was going to move my stop to break even. We're sitting at 58. KBH is not really giving us what we want. AGLE, it's kind of chopping around here. SNDX is trying to do something. ETM, the range is not there. OMF. A lot of these are interesting. The volume's a little bit lower on some of these. All right, getting ready to move our take profit down here. If we can get a little bit lower in the 30s. There we go. All right, we're going to bring this down to our stop is going to be break even now. MMLP. Looks like this OMF is about to halt here while it's kind of chopping around. NAT up on the scanners here. Actually almost got to that 870 area. If we can get through I mean, it did pop through 850. If it gets back through there, we might take a shot at this. It's going to pull back without us. Yeah, that's a shame. It's a shame we missed NAT there. I would have been interested in that through 850. We would have looks like we would have got some fill there. Trying to come down here on GPS. see, DVAX coming off the bottom. MMLP. That's the one from earlier. Did that other one halt? I don't even remember what it was, to be honest. It was a 3-letter. Let's see. HOG. Here we go. HOG looking pretty good. Just went through that resistance. Ooh, I hate when I do that. Yeah, so we would have already got our fill here on GPS if we would have hit the right button. Unfortunately, we did not. Watching HOG here. See if we can get a little push up through near 22. There we go. Oh, man, that thing got stuffed right away. Got up towards 80 and went right back down to 60. So it's going to be a little unfortunate here if we end up getting stopped out, break even on GPS, because we ended up hitting the wrong button there. Should have hit the 50-cent button, not the 75-cent button. It was right. It did get it got back down to 38, right? That's where we would have been. Yeah, it got down to 35. So we'll see what happens here. If it ends up going back through. There's the 50 break. We'll see if we got a pretty good entry on it. So we're up near high of day. We're only 4 cents from high of day. So it would pretty much have to go high of day for us to get taken out here. It's looking like it's trying. Hopefully it's just a little bit of sloppy seconds here. HOG trying for that 22. Here we go. There's TEN again. I need to get more charts again. 2 charts isn't cutting it on days like today. We're 2 cents away here. That's going to be so unfortunate. 1 cent. There it is. Probably going to get 1 cent slippage, which is annoying. Geez, we actually ended up getting 2 cent slippage there. Oh, man. All right, so annoying start to the day. Here goes HOG. See if we can get this 22 break. All right, we're gonna try HOG. Would have liked this one a little bit longer, or a little bit more. I was hoping for a bigger push through 22. We ended up getting 22.04 there. NAT popping back up here. Oh yeah, I like this. Going to be patient with NAT here, see if we can get that 9 test again. Struggling. Going to be patient with it. HOG actually still trying to go a little higher here. It looks like NAT is not going to get 9. There we go, coming back through on HOG. NAT looks like it would have been a good one. Coming down here on HOG. See if we can get that little bit more of a push down towards 50. What's up, Gaines? What's up? I think I said it. Yeah, I already said hi to you, Dennis. What's up? I'll say it again. What's up? You're just tuning in. We had one break-even trade already on GPS. It was a little unfortunate. May have hit the wrong button there. SNDX. This is kind of an interesting one. Spread on SNDX is a little whack. We're going to probably leave that one alone. Plus, it already made a pretty decent move back down. Just kind of chilling here in HOG, letting it do its thing. I think, what did we get down to? 80. I was looking for it to get down towards 70. We were going to move to break even, but we didn't quite get there. So we're just kind of giving it some room here. It's a charge. CMEG charge. It depends on which platform you get, but they're about the same price. It's 125 for DOS and 131 for Sterling. Jeez, the big move down on PFGC. This SNDX is so tempting, but it's so spready. And there, it actually just made its move down, so we'll leave it alone. Yeah, this HOG is starting to feel a lot like the one we played yesterday, where it makes the big move up and then doesn't really give you a pullback. Yeah, I agree. Platform fees suck, but it's part of trading. That's, what do they say? You got to pay to play. You're going to pay platform fees in one way or another pretty much anywhere you go. The market, I guess, is just... Well, the market actually looks pretty heavy. Actually, yeah, the market's making a move to the downside here. Kind of interesting that some of these stocks that were trying to follow the market are still kind of moving up here. Everything's starting to slow down a little bit. Man, NAT would have been a winner. A little frustrating there. I was trying to be patient with it, seeing if we could get the 9 break, because the range wasn't that great on it. But yeah, that thing pretty much gave up. Where, of course, we jump into HOG, which is not giving up at all. A lot of stocks on the minus I3 scan at the moment due to the SPY kind of dropping as well. That AGLE would have been a pretty decent one. Just need that 50 test, and then you can do whatever you want, HOG. I just want you to go down, test 2150. Starting to look like a descending triangle a little bit here. Scrolling through all the other charts that are alerting us. I'm not really interested in most of them. Some of those are coming off the bottom. Also looking at the minus I3 scan, just not really interested in too many of those. It's always nice to see a stock that you're in hit the other scanner, right? Because that means it's working. So NAT is definitely one that would have done that. A little frustrating there. If you guys are just tuning in, we had one break-even trade on GPS. I'll pull that up real quick just so you guys can see it. The thing's kind of doing all kind of weird stuff. And then now we are in HOG, looking for this thing to break down. If we can get down there towards 2170, I was going to move my stop to break even, just like we did on GPS. But we can't seem to get that breakdown. They're upstairs. I usually get like the first 15-20 minutes. Me and the wife are trying to figure a way out for me to have a little bit of silence at market open. So for about 15-20 minutes, she takes them upstairs. Yeah, hit that like button on the way in, guys. We're actually only 12 people away from doing that giveaway. Maybe we'll get a giveaway in for Taco Tuesday. Cedric, what's up, man? How you doing? Is it monthly? Yeah, he was asking if it's a monthly charge or free. Yeah, it's a monthly charge of $125 if you have DOS, $131 if you're on Sterling. But if you're going offshore, I mean, there's really not much you can do to avoid platform fees. It just kind of comes with the territory. So the only thing I don't like about this, I already forget the ticker from yesterday. It was like CHF, or I forget what it was. But it was doing the same thing where it was trying to form a descending triangle like this, and it kept finding support. And in this case, it's at 2180. And then eventually it just, you know, skyrocketed north. So we'll see what it ends up doing. Now I'm curious what the ticker was. Yeah, CNX, that's what it was. I couldn't think of what it was. I was actually looking at that earlier. If you look at it now, it's way back down there, back down to 1172. So here we go, getting a drop here, 80. See if we can get down there towards 70. We'll move it's at 80. That's that support area that we were talking about. It just can't seem to get through it. I don't know if there's just like a hidden buyer there. We don't know because there's really not much showing up on the level 2. But if we can get through 80, I feel like we're going to get a nice move down. It almost looks like it went through there. Doesn't that candle look lower? But it's not. It's definitely being held up. I don't like that, but there it goes. I saw something up through 80. All right, I feel like we're going to get a decent little move down here. I think it kind of warrants down in the 70s. We're close enough. We'll move to break even. 2204. If it's not letting me, I'll just put it at 2203. Doesn't really matter because I feel like if it gets back through 22, that extra couple cents isn't going to matter. Let's see if we can get this move down here to 64. Looks like it's right on. It says 62 was on the bid there. See if we can get a print. So obviously we didn't get filled on the bid if it went down to 62. We always find a way to make our take profit line look like support. WLL, really not any range there. Just be nice for this to try to go down here and test 50 real quick, right? That's all we want. We're not asking for too much. Keep coming within 2 cents of the bid here. Apparently the bid went through us at some point, right? 62 printed. We just didn't get any fill, which is a little frustrating. Just need that one little drop down through. There we go. We're on the bid again, and there's our fill. Sweet. So got a winner there on HOG. Had to wait a little bit there for it, but we ended up with the winner. Let me take a look at your chart here. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Let me make sure I'm looking at that. Oh, you battled that thing. EMPH. Ouchie, man. I thought I was looking at that completely different. You know, those suck. Those happen. But you made a good play, right? You cut it where you're supposed to. Look at WATT. That thing's extending itself, but we don't have any shares there. Range isn't that good either. Still looking here. Seems like things kind of slowed down a little bit here. I guess the SPY getting a little heavy there. Now it's chopping. People are a little like, I don't know what we're going to do here. ARCT out of the gate would have been a nice one. I think that was one of the lower floats. What did NAT? NAT ended up being a nice one. I'm a little frustrated with NAT, but it is what it is. I was looking for the 9 pop and we couldn't quite get it. When we actually pulled it up, it had already pulled back down to 890, so we were hoping it would pop back up towards 9, just because the range wasn't that great on it. But we just didn't get it. Where is my mouse? There it is. So NNBR was a pretty nice one. So HOG at least didn't do what CNX did yesterday, right? Para and then consolidate into a descending triangle and then decide to go higher. That was very, very frustrating yesterday. I do remember how the trade played out. I just couldn't remember the ticker. Just missed KURA. That was an interesting one. Popped up, already gave it back. Spread looks kind of nasty. Not sure we would have been able to get into that. That literally gave everything back right away. Take a look at this one. Pulled it up as it was coming back down towards 1275. So some of these are super quick. NGL making a move. We don't have any shares here. APY. Volume on this is a little bit lower. How hard was it to learn DOS? Well, Cedric, think of it as a tool that you need to complete your job. So just like any job out there, you got to learn your tool. As far as how hard the tool is to use, at first it's a little complicated, but once you start messing around with it and using it more and more, it's not that hard. It's really not. Watching APY here, see if it wants to give us a move up towards, it actually wants to halt at 1050. It's interesting. It's kind of interesting that it says it wants to halt at 1050 because this isn't moving that fast. If it wants to shoot right to 1050 and the halt's there, we might actually take a position real quick. Because it would have to halt before it could ever stop us out, and then we could re-examine after the halt what's going on. Yeah, Cedric, I have a couple of videos out there. If you just go to my YouTube page, click the little search button and just type in DOS, a couple of videos should pop up. I kind of go through a little tutorial. I'm literally getting ready to start a new series. I'm trying to finish up the trader tips series that I was doing, which I don't have too many more of those. And then I was going to start a DOS series where I pretty much just I'll pick like one subject of DOS and really go into it in depth. So we'll see how that ends up working out, but It's so funny. I feel like when you see something, now it's at 1060. Regardless, if this thing gets to where it wants to halt, we might look to try to get in. But when you're typing in the ISW rooms, if it's a symbol or a ticker that's in lowercase letters, you almost always know it's a mistake. Because usually that you just type lowercase into the montages and it's automatically uppercase. So NGL was called out here, but we don't have any shares. This is something that maybe we'd have on Interactive Brokers. Could be looking to take a position here. KURA all the way back up there. Crazy. Yeah, and Cedric, if you ever have any questions, I'm always here. Whether it's during the stream in the morning, the Friday night live streams, in the Discord, Twitter, no matter where, if you have questions, feel free to just shoot me a message. And I love using DOS. I'm pretty good with it. So if it's something that I can answer, I'll get an answer. And usually if I can't figure out the answer, I'll go look it up if we're both having trouble finding it. But yeah, pretty much any answer that you're looking for to do with DOS, once you kind of get the hang of it, it's out there somewhere. So, and that's how I learned. If I had a question, I just went out, Google, YouTube, it's there somewhere. You just got to find it. So the halt price is kind of climbing here. This is moving way too slow at this point. I was really looking for like a quick move, like KURA. Look at this thing. This is nuts. Up, down, all around. NGL, if you had shares there, look at that thing. Right off the scanner. That was a beautiful one. Tested that 450 area. I've been noticing that a lot lately. These whole dollars and half dollars have like really been holding strong. In the past like 6 months, it's been like it'll give you that little poke through, and then it'll decide whether it wants to come back down or not. But lately, it's been them half dollars and whole dollars just holding strong. Like yesterday on CNX, them whole dollars being used as support. That was ridiculous. Here's this SNDX again. We stayed out of this one earlier because of the spread. Let's see what it wants to do here. Spread's actually not bad right now. I need to see much more out of this. Let's scroll out here on the daily. Do we got any key levels here? So the next key level is right here at 18. Maybe that's why it popped right off of it. It's not letting me scroll back any further. It was a new IPO back in 2016. So if that's the case, this would be all-time highs it's trying to go through. So you could see quite the squeeze if it gets through 18. Or 1795 for that matter. It only got to 1790. Look at all that volume sitting here. They're trying to put, there it goes. You could see a pretty good squeeze here. There it is. This could be pretty hefty. You got a lot of people realizing that that's going to happen. They're selling a lot. They probably put a lot of shares up there to sell, just looking for all that liquidity. Right? You get a lot of cover stops for people getting squeezed out, and then you get a lot of people selling that were long. Right? So you get a ton of liquidity going through there. That's why you see those like real big pops all at once like that. But as a result, if the imbalance is now the other way, then it's all about imbalance. Is the imbalance to the upside or is it to the downside? So if you pop up into that huge supply zone of liquidity and there's more sellers than there are buyers, then guess what? You're coming right back down. And that's pretty much how a fake out breakout works. And then you get all these people that were buying in for the breakout that realized, okay, holy crap, that was a fake out. And now they end up selling for a loss down here. And then usually that's when the big guys are buying again to drive it even higher. And it's just a cycle. I remember being caught in that cycle as a young trader so many times trying to buy breakouts. That's why I just don't do it. Unless you can try to hold through some pain like this. Like if you bought this breakout up towards 18, unless you're, using a legit stop loss, like all the way down here under 1630, then, you're gonna be caught in that same cycle, because until this thing really fails under 1634, it's not really, it hasn't broken its ascending pattern. But if you bought this breakout up here at 1790 looking for that 18 break and you didn't get any sells here and it came all the way back down and well under your average, are you selling for a loss because you're like, crap, it was a fake out? Which a lot of people do. And then you'll see this happen where people start buying that dip and it starts to go up higher again. And then you decide to possibly buy this again and you're already down 40, 50 cents on your original shares. All right. So it's definitely, it's tough playing these breakouts. You gotta have a stomach for it. And I realized very quickly that I do not. I like to play the other side of it where I can predict that when these happen, you're going to get some kind of a pullback. So I like to play those. They're much easier. And the beauty of it is there's a scanner that tells me when they're happening. So I don't even have to do any of the work. Why is this not activating? Oh, because I drew it over here. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting pattern that happens with people that are trading buyouts. 6 mega fail. Yeah, that did drop pretty quickly there. CHS. I was just told the market is tanking. Let's take a look. It indeed is tanking. Play the SPY again. I don't even know. I don't think I could even buy the SPY, to be honest. I don't think I'd have enough buying power. What did our trade HOG end up doing? Oh, it ended up giving sloppy seconds. Look at that. Beautiful. Just enough to give you that little fake out. I was just talking about the whole dollar's holding strong, but in this case, it did give you that little poke through before dying off a little bit more. What did, I remember NAL was a good, oh yeah, look at that one. That would have been good. We didn't have any shares there. We pulled that one up right at the beginning. ARCT, like, man, that would have been a nice one. We pulled that one up a little bit late and it already started making its move back down. Wasn't comfortable getting any kind of entry. Really just looking off the minus I3 scan at the moment because the SPY is giving us that pullback. SPY is difficult to really trade. I mean, you're just dealing with so many algorithms. You're really just kind of guessing which way you think the market's going to go at any specific time. This thing really has a mind of its own. I mean, we've seen it make legs down like this and then just keep on going. We've seen it kind of act normal where it'll do exactly what it's doing and kind of rubber band back up towards VWAP. Like, it's really, to me, a complete guessing game. That's why I don't really like to play it. I played it one time just to say that I played it. And I'm sure I'll play it again in the future, but, you know, with the small account, there's really not much you can do. If you guys are just tuning in, we had 2 trades today so far. GPS, oh, look at it now. It ended up going high of day first, though, so what was our stop at? Do we remember? 858. It was definitely over this, right? 78. I think I hit the wrong button, so it was at 88. So we definitely would have finally got our fill there, but we got so close down here to 28, which is where our fill was. So we moved our stop to break even, pretty much top tick this candle. Actually, how do we keep doing that? Look at this. The high of this candle is 859.5. Our fill was at 860. That's right. I'll just show you 860. Look at that. So, and look, the high of the candle right there. It says, yet we still got a higher price. We're pretty good at that. The thing is, we still would have got stopped out over here, right? We still wouldn't have got any fill. Little frustrating, but if we would have left the one-to-one trade on completely, we would have eventually had it work out in our favor as this thing completely dumped off. Our other trade was HOG. This one did work out. Pretty much bottom ticked the bounce here bounced up, gave sloppy seconds, and now it's heading even lower, right down to that previous support. So pretty good trade there on HOG. Been looking for a lot of other things and can't seem to find too much else. I do feel like there was a couple trades that we missed today, but I'm not going to be too upset about it. A lot of people trade SPY with options. Yeah, that's true. And there it is doing its little bounce. Just curious if we would have the buying power. Like if we wanted to take, how many shares if I hit this 30-cent button here? 67. 67 times 280, or we'll just do 290. Yeah, we definitely don't have the buying. 19. Oh, we would have the buying power. Huh. We have 23,509 in buying power. So technically, if we wanted to play this, we could play it for 20 or 30 cents, which in this case, that would have worked out. Good to know that we can actually play almost a $300 stock. Something like that, though, I mean, the range isn't really that great. That's like people sit here and play AMD all day. I don't understand how. I mean, the thing always looks like this for the most part. Always just looks so choppy. SNDX popping back up again here. Yep, so I believe this thing's at all-time highs. This thing might kind of do one of those things where it just grinds higher and higher, kind of continue to squeeze out a lot of people. CRC popping off at us. I don't think we have shares there. No. Look at that, already gave back most of the move it made. Yeah, SNDX is interesting. Definitely has a ton of volume, but look how grindy it is, right? We would need this thing to give us a really big bar like this one over here. When we had pulled this one up, it was super spready because we were actually interested, but the spread was a little ridiculous. As you can see, it's kind of just grinding away here. It's never really extending itself. We'll keep it up just to see what it does. So it probably looks like I'm looking up into the sky, but it's really just my third monitor's up there. Say, like, this one is, I put my main monitor, the 34-inch that I have, like, perfect. This one is where it's supposed to be. And then these are, obviously, they're 24-inch monitors above that. So 2 feet each going up. So 4 feet up in the air on top of my other screen to the top. So. Four and four. What is CX doing here? The range on this is kind of crap. Making a nice move though. That KURA going again. Yeah, look, it's breaking out. Kind of was in a flag pattern. Problem with this is it doesn't really have any volume. My computer specs? That's a good question. I built this a while ago. I know I have a 1080 in there. Hold on. Let me, CPU. Let me just give you a rundown. Watching KURA here, but it's an interesting one. So I'm running the i7 7700K on a MSI Z270 SLI Plus. I'm running 32 gigs now on 4 sticks. I actually did 16 and 16. When I put the computer together, I only put 16 in there. Let me pull up CPU-Z. I know that one's a little bit easier to read for the other stuff. Let's see. It should have the... You can see I'm running 2 SSD. I have one 960 and one 970. One's 500 gigs. One's 1 terabyte. I have a bunch of external drives hooked up to it as well, just for various reasons. Running the GTX 1080. I also have a GTX 670 just to help run all the different monitors that I have set up. I'm pretty sure, I don't think it tells me what kind of memory it is, but I know it's the, what's that main brand? But as you can see, it's 32 and it's over four slots. Oh, that's right. I did mix. So 2 of them are Corsair, and the other one is the I forget the name of it. It's a very popular name. There's a 1080. So I mean, that'll give you kind of the basis of it. Nothing too special. This KURA, man, the spread and the volume definitely keeping me out of it. I'm just not I don't know. It's just, I've been burned by those so many times, like where you try to get an entry here and then just the way that it can move, like this could pop through 14 and just go to 1450 like it's nothing, right? So I know that you got to accept the risk and all that stuff, but there's just better opportunities out there where you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So 34 Dell. Where did you see 34 Dell? I don't know what that is. The 34 inch. That might have been my monitors. I have 4. I wonder if I can make this reach out here. I don't know. Let's see. So starting from top to bottom, you'll see like there's my OBS. I have Discord up there. There's all my scanners. Let it zoom in or focus a little bit. So Discord, scanners. Up there I got OBS running. There's you guys and my browser. And then here's my main screen. So from left to right. And as you can see, they kind of line up. 224s next to each other are a little bit bigger than my main 34 inch. I plan to make a video on my setup. I made one with my old setup, and I plan to make another one with the new setup. I just haven't got around to it quite yet. What did our GPS end up doing? Kind of just chopping around. That one's a little frustrating because we did hit the wrong button. And what I mean by we hit the wrong button, so 825 pushed through, it got to 860 where we entered, right? It got up to 862. We hit it at 858. So we basically top ticked this thing, but that's only what, a 40-cent move, and we hit the 75-cent button. And the reason I hit the 75-cent button is because I was looking for the pop through 50 all the way up to, into 870, 880 area. So I was planning to hit the 75-cent button based off of that, and I was just hovering over it, and then I got excited. Excuse me. I got excited and realized that it felt like the top, so I jumped in, but I didn't change buttons. And if we would have changed buttons, 58 was our entry. We would have needed 38. And as you can see, it hit a low of 37 there, but then it ended up continuing down to 35. So I'm pretty sure we would have got our fill. But instead, our order was sitting there at 28. So we got close enough to where I said, I'm going to move to stop, our stop to break even. So that way, since we messed the trade up and we got close enough to our take profit anyways, that's the rule to go to break even. So we did, and unfortunately we ended up top ticking it, which we would have ended up doing anyway. Even if we didn't get stopped out here, it would have came back down, teased us a little bit, and then came up and stopped us out anyway. So either way, it wouldn't have mattered. The only way this would have been a winning trade is if we would have left our full 1-to-1 there, but that is not per our rules, because if it ever pulls back and gets that close and then comes back up to where our stop would have been, we're not very interested in that trade at that point, right? So unfortunately, this is one of those rare cases where it would have worked out. But the odds are, if it does something like this, this thing is going to probably continue. So this is one of those oddities where obviously that wasn't the case. Our other trade over here on HOG, this one worked out pretty nicely. Almost top ticked this one as well. Ended up basically being the support line with our cover. Popped up, sloppy seconds, ended up continuing down. I really want to start getting into these sloppy seconds plays. I really like the idea of these for my single entry strategy, because you have that double top to act as good resistance, and you see this happen all the time where it tries to get back up towards high of day, it fails, and then you end up getting a bigger drop than the one previous. So I'm very interested in watching for these. And I've been starting to keep track in my handwritten journal of every time this happens. So I have a little page where I just mark it down and I put the ticker symbol and the date, and I just, that way I can go back and reference it if I want. GDT just said Roku. Take a look at this one to the downside. Nice support area break here at 122.31. CX is the other one that's going off on the scanner there. No range on CX. I got a 10-cent range here, so probably gonna, well, 20 cents, but Roku had an interesting spot on the 60-minute. If we bring it up real quick. Like if we scroll out, it's kind of in like a weird, I know it looks bad because of all this stuff, but it's in like, it's at its support level here. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. If it wants to continue down through this area, that could get a little nasty, because the next line isn't until all the way down here around 117. Definitely at a key area here, which is good. If you're in this trade, right? If you're scaling into this trade, that's actually pretty good, because, and that's yesterday's, what is this red line showing? Oh, it's today's low. But it's a big extended move into that area. So the odds of it being able to really push through down even further is not that good before it gets a nice bounce. So we'll see. I don't really like playing Roku. I've played it 2 or 3 times in the past, and I think I've been red on it every single time. This thing can definitely move in one way or the other, so definitely not something that I'm a fan of playing. I've tried, like I said, I've tried playing it in the past, and it always seems to get me, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I do like the move though. Good call out by GDT, a nice intense move. We'll see if it wants to actually continue down here, or if it wants to give us that pop back up towards that previous support here at 122. So it's continuing down to that area, that 120 area. Like I said, if we get under this area here, there's really not much holding it up until that 117 area. That's where the real support zone looks like it may be, that 117 area. But this is a pretty extended move. I can't see it making it all the way to 117 before having some sort of pullback. I've been proven wrong before. Quote unquote yesterday. I was proven wrong 6 times. Just looking at something there. I was curious if it looked different, like with these pullbacks, because sometimes you get pullbacks within candles, and on the 2 minute it's hard to see it, but it's pretty much the same thing on the 1 minute. You can see the pullbacks within the candles as it continues a little bit lower. That 120 break would be a little bit nasty again if it gets back down through, but this looks like where it might want to try to come back up. This is pretty often what you usually see. So this is kind of the determining moment here. Whether it wants to squeeze back up or if it's going to kind of hold down here. Hey, Thomas. We ended up 1 for 2. One of the trades was break even. We had a trade on GPS and HOG. GPS was break even. Kind of messed up. We hit the wrong button to get in there. But then HOG was a winner. So we ended up just a little under 1R today just because of the slippage on GPS. So Roku kind of failing to rubber band back up there. See what 120 does here. If it fails 120 again here, that's not looking too hot. There it goes, trying to squeeze back up. Looking for the move up through 120.50 and really some continuation. Yeah, nothing bad happened today. Just hit the wrong button on the first one. Could have been two for 2, but we ended up just kind of 1 for 2, but one, like I said, the one was break even. It's actually looking pretty heavy here on Roku. That's not very good, that topping tail here. Keeps trying this 120 and it keeps failing 150. Or 120.50, I should say. Yes, bub. Whoa, what, is that a mystery? Yeah. Let's see it. Yeah, I am You're gonna open it and see what it is? What color? I can't see it. What color is it? Oh, ooh. Can I smell it? Smells like strawberry. Can you taste it? Tell me what it tastes like. Is it strawberry? You don't know? It's fruit punch. Yeah. Oh, okay. That is fruit punch. Yummy fruit punch. Ooh, you want me to try yours? Is that green apple? Say that's Daddy's favorite. Yeah, I had You had 2 green apples? Yes. Where's one? I want one. I'm just kidding. You don't have to give me one. You eat your fruit punch. Oh, geez, this thing is actually going lower. 119.64 is the low. It pretty much tapped it. 119.65. apple. You have blue apple?
Yeah. You want to eat apple? You want to eat apple?
Green apple?
Yeah.
Where is it? I'll take one. Ooh, for me? Where'd you get all these lollipops? I'm jealous.
I walked into our bedroom and I was like,
I got you, Thomas.
where'd all Daddy's pillows go? This little SHIT stacked them to reach the lollipop bag and got it down.
He's lucky he didn't fall.
Well, but I was like, come on, out of Mommy's room. So I went in Camden's room and we were playing in there, and then they both disappeared and came back with handfuls of lollipops.
Hey, Brayden.
I was like, how did you get to that?
You shouldn't do that, but I'm very proud of your problem-solving skills. That was good. You figured out a way to get something that you wanted. That's a good job. Even though it was something you weren't supposed to get. Oh, I see that you did that. Yeah. Do you want the rest of the fruit punch? A little bit? Those are yummy. I forgot how good those lollipops are. I do like them. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. See, Daddy's about to get off here in a sec. They are back. Who is they are back? Oh, wowzers. Look at that stuff there on Roku. Is that what you were talking about? Oh, the kids are back. Gotcha. What is SNDX doing again? Take a look at it here on the other screen. Oh, it's trying. Yeah. I don't mind them around this time, though, because everything's starting to slow down. There goes Roku. Trying. Did it get low a day? 65, 72. It keeps trying. Low a day was at 64. I remember you used to be so scared of that thing. Now look at you. Purposely falling just because it's fun. Watching SNDX here. It's making a move. Up through 20. It's a little sketch though. Here it goes extending itself. Just not sure I want to mess with it. I already missed it if I was about to mess with it. I felt the top there, and I just didn't hit it, and man, it would have worked out already. Well, that's a bummer. It's all right. It's good to watch these, though, for the future. It's a little low float. It's right at the low. It's 23 mil. So just watching that happen. What's wrong, bud? Camden. Hey. What's wrong? What's the cover? Oh, you just want to get up? You just wanted to get up there with you. Here, here's another one. Yeah, I mean, look at that. SNDX pulled back. Would have already filled us, though, but now it's right back to high a day. Don't. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. The wife, I can hear she's on a call, and the kids are starting to act up a little bit. So appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to hit me up on all the various places, Twitter, Discord, here when it finally does this thing on the recap a little bit later. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Peace. Eat some tacos.